Get ready, because the news cycle is absolutely exploding, and we've got the need-to-know updates that are dominating the conversation. From career-defining moments to the sharpest critiques, buckle up for a high-octane rundown that you won't want to miss. We're diving deep into the stories shaping our world, so stay locked in. First up, we're unearthing the incredible 60 minutes that completely redefined a household name. This isn't just about a role, it's about a pivotal hour that catapulted an actor into superstardom, setting the stage for a career that spans galaxies and genres. You'll be amazed at how a single moment can change everything. Then, we're shifting gears to dissect the highly anticipated remake of a cinematic classic. Is this new take a blooming success or a wilting disappointment? We're breaking down the performances, the tone, and whether it captures the venom of the original. Get ready for a deep dive that might just change how you see your favorite films. Next, we're getting an inside look at the creative process, with an actor revealing the exact moment a scene turned toxic on set. What happens when the lines between character and reality blur, and how do stars navigate those intense moments? We're getting the unfiltered truth behind the scenes. And finally, we're heading to a star-studded event that's shaking up the award season. Forget what you know about traditional ceremonies. This is a fresh, celebrity-packed gathering that's making waves. Who took home the biggest honors, and what does this mean for the future of entertainment? Stick around for all these stories and more. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. The hour that forged a star. How a single 60-minute broadcast irrevocably altered the trajectory of a global acting icon. In the pantheon of British acting talent, Benedict Cumberbatch stands tall, a versatile force who has seamlessly transitioned from the intricate world of espionage to the spandex of superheroes, and from the logical precision of a Vulcan to the deductive brilliance of Sherlock Holmes. His name alone conjures images of iconic characters, and his chameleon-like ability to inhabit diverse roles has cemented his status as a formidable presence in contemporary cinema and television. The public's affection for him is so strong that even playful mispronunciations of his name, like Benadryl Cabbage Patch or Butternut Crinklephries, serve only to highlight his widespread recognition and the affectionate familiarity audiences feel towards him. Born in London and hailing from a lineage touched by British high society and even distant royalty, Cumberbatch's early life hinted at a future of prominence. His dedication to the craft was evident from a young age, with extensive drama studies paving the way for a career that began to garner significant attention through his compelling stage performances in the early 2000s. His early television work included a poignant portrayal of Stephen Hawking in a 2004 biopic, earning him an Olivier Award nomination, and a memorable stint in Charlie Brooker's prescient comedy, Nathan Barley. These early roles showcased his range, but the true explosion onto the global stage was still on the horizon. For several years, Cumberbatch honed his skills across television series, independent films, and the theater, building a solid foundation. Then, in 2010, a seismic shift occurred. He was cast as the modern iteration of Sherlock Holmes in the BBC's acclaimed series, a daring reimagining by Stephen Moffat and Mark Gatiss. Paired with Martin Freeman as the ever-patient Dr. Watson, the show brought Arthur Conan Doyle's legendary detective into the 21st century, infused with contemporary graphics, rapid-fire editing, and a captivating antagonist in Andrew Scott's Moriarty. The series premiere on July 25, 2010, was not just a television event, it was a watershed moment. Millions tuned in, live tweeting their reactions to the masterful storytelling. But beyond the immediate success of Sherlock, the end of that very first 60-minute episode coincided with a critical news development that would directly influence Cumberbatch's future career. On that same day, WikiLeaks, the controversial freedom of information platform founded by Julian Assange, released the Afghan War Diary. This massive leak detailed alleged misconduct by the U.S. Army during its operations in Afghanistan over a 5-year span. The fallout was immense, leading to protracted legal battles by the U.S. and Swedish governments to prosecute Assange for espionage. Assange himself sought refuge in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, remaining an active political figure until his asylum was revoked in 2019, leading to his imprisonment. His legal saga eventually concluded with a plea deal that allowed his return to Australia in 2024. 2 years after the Sherlock premiere, Cumberbatch was offered the role of Julian Assange in the film The Fifth Estate. He recalled the moment vividly, stepping into a stairwell to find a signal, only to be told that DreamWorks wanted him for a film about Assange. This offer came just as he was preparing to make his significant Hollywood debut as Khan in J.J. Abrams' Star Trek Into Darkness. While The Fifth Estate received mixed reviews upon its release, Cumberbatch's performance was met with critical praise, a testament to his growing stature. His career continued its upward trajectory. The following year, he earned an Oscar nomination for The Imitation Game, and in 2016 made his impactful debut in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Doctor Strange. His subsequent appearances in multiple Avengers films and his second Oscar nomination for The Power of the Dog in 2021 solidified his position as a leading man. Now, with an upcoming starring role in The Roses, a remake of The War of the Roses, it appears Cumberbatch's career continues to be a bed of roses. This pivotal hour set the stage for an incredible career, but how does his latest project measure up? Stay tuned as we explore the critical reception of The Roses. The Roses, A Faded Bloom. This remake of a classic divorce drama swaps biting satire for gentle bickering, losing its edge in the process. In the realm of cinematic adaptations, the decision to rename the new version of Warren Adler's novel, The War of the Roses, simply The Roses, is telling. While the original novel and its iconic 1989 film adaptation, starring Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas, delved into a divorce steeped in absolute hatred, this new iteration, featuring Olivia Colman and Benedict Cumberbatch, focuses on a marriage that, despite its combative nature, retains an underlying current of love. This shift, while perhaps making the story more relatable and human, unfortunately dilutes the potent venom that made the original so unforgettable. Colman portrays Ivy, a talented chef, who encounters Theo, an architect played by Cumberbatch. Their initial meeting sparks an undeniable chemistry, leading to a whirlwind romance, marriage, and the arrival of young twins. Theo dedicates himself to designing a new museum, while Ivy opens a seafood restaurant that struggles to find its footing. A dramatic turn of events on a stormy night alters their fortunes, and the seeds of resentment begin to sprout. The majority of the film chronicles their cycles of arguing and reconciling, often tearfully, a dynamic that mirrors many narratives about affluent, middle-aged couples grappling with marital ennui. The story only ventures into darker territory near its conclusion, and even then, the driving force remains their underlying affection, often overshadowed by hurt feelings. Apart from a brief montage of spiteful acts, much of their conflict consists of fairly ordinary marital disputes. The film's tonal ambivalence might stem from its pedigree, with promotional material highlighting its director, Jay Roach, known for Meet the Parents, and its writer, Tony McNamara, creator of Poor Things. While disparate sensibilities can certainly coalesce, The Roses falters in its inability to fully commit to the bitterness it introduces. It often plays like a lighthearted comedy with a perfunctory nod to darker themes. The supporting cast is a collection of seasoned comedic actors, including Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon as a friendly American couple, Zoe Kao and Jamie Demetriou as colleagues of Theo S., and Allison Janney in a brief but impactful role as Ivy's divorce lawyer. However, with the exception of Janney, the film underutilizes these talented performers. Samberg's character, introduced with a seemingly significant obsession with firearms, feels underdeveloped and ultimately inessential. McKinnon delivers her signature brand of quirky, heightened performance, but the repetition of similar scenes begins to diminish its impact. Kao and Demetriou are amusing, but their characters' broad portrayals tend to overshadow the subtle tension between Ivy and Theo, pulling focus from the central conflict. The original War of the Roses concluded with a brutal, emotionally nihilistic scene where Oliver and Barbara Rose, gravely injured amidst the wreckage of their destroyed home, share a final, fleeting moment of reconciliation. Barbara's ultimate rejection of Oliver's hand, even in death, was a powerful statement of their enduring animosity. The Roses omits this pivotal moment, and indeed, the the film's entire emotional arc makes such a conclusion impossible. The characters in this version simply lack the capacity for that level of sustained, visceral hatred. While a comedy about the challenges of long-term marriage and the potential for boredom and resentment is perfectly valid, and Colman and Cumberbatch certainly bring charm and wit to their roles, the film misses the core essence of its source material. The original's biting commentary on how love can curdle into profound despise is conspicuously absent, leaving one to question the necessity of adapting a property whose fundamental appeal is so fundamentally altered. The Roses is not a bad film. It's enjoyable to watch two charismatic actors engage in witty banter. However, it stands in the shadow of its predecessor, a film that was gloriously nasty and sharp, whereas this adaptation settles for being merely affable and jokey, a disappointing trade-off. While this remake may have lost some of its bite, the on-set dynamics behind it are proving to be a story in themselves. Prepare for an inside look at the filming process as we reveal a moment that turned toxic. The Roses Review, a wilted remake of a classic. This reimagining of a beloved divorce comedy swaps genuine animosity for tepid bickering, failing to capture the original's sharp bite. Danny DeVito's 1989 dark comedy, The War of the Roses, masterfully depicted the corrosive descent of love into bitter hatred, a cinematic achievement rarely matched. The original film, starring Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas as Barbara and Oliver Rose, showcased a couple initially consumed by adoration, whose relationship imploded into a spectacular and darkly humorous war over their opulent home. Their escalating animosity led to increasingly extreme acts, from Oliver urinating on Barbara's prized fish dish to Barbara running over Oliver's car with him inside, and a chilling fake-out involving their dog. Turner's portrayal of Barbara was particularly formidable. She wasn't merely a resentful wife, but a woman disgusted by her husband's transformation into a pompous phony, making their battle for their shared home a no-holds-barred conflict where surrender was unthinkable. Barbara's final, definitive act cemented her utter rejection of Oliver, a testament to their profound and all-consuming animosity. By contrast, director Jay Roach's The Roses, a reimagining of the 1989 classic film, penned by Tony McNamara, presents a significantly diluted version of this marital warfare. The film stars Benedict Cumberbatch as architect Theo and Olivia Colman as Chef Ivy. While Colman and Cumberbatch engage in sharp verbal sparring with professional skill, their on-screen conflict lacks the visceral intensity of their predecessors. The films attempt to depict their initial romance, where Theo is captivated by Ivy's cooking, feels tepid. Despite frequent dialogue about lust and passion, the chemistry between Colman and Cumberbatch fails to ignite, falling far short of the palpable attraction between Turner and Douglas. Their connection seems more intellectual than physical, a stark contrast to the fiery passion that fueled the original's downfall. As Ivy's career as a gourmet food expert soars, Theo, a stay-at-home dad to their two children, becomes consumed by his own feelings of inadequacy and resentment. This shift in their fortunes sets the stage for their domestic war, fought over their dream house by the sea. While production designer Mark Ricker ensures the home looks suitably grand, the conflict itself lacks substance. Their acts of sabotage, ranging from dropping live crabs into a bath to employing deep fakes and mild poisoning, feel more like mild pranks than the expressions of deep-seated hatred that define the original. The film hints that the Roses don't truly commit to their war, suggesting that their hearts aren't fully in the destruction, perhaps even harboring lingering affection for each other. This sentiment, while perhaps intended to be sweet, undermines the film's premise and its ability to deliver the biting satire promised by its source material. Roach, a director adept at broad comedy, struggles to maintain the necessary tension, often diffusing it with excessive contributions from the supporting cast. Allison Janney, however, provides a welcome jolt of energy as a no-nonsense divorce attorney, cutting through the film's timidity. The supporting cast, including Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon as a married couple, Barry and Amy, are utilized to their full potential in one of the more original sequences. A dinner party where the guests, emboldened by the Roses' conflict, begin to air their own marital grievances. This scene, a fresh take on the original's themes, highlights McNamara's writing talent. However, the film's overall lack of passion in depicting the central couple's romance and subsequent hatred proves to be its undoing. The Roses ultimately fails to capture the raw, destructive power of the original. While it's not a terrible film, and the performances are competent, it lacks the necessary ferocity and commitment to its satirical edge. It's a standard studio comedy, amiable and amusing, but a pale imitation of the gloriously nasty, acidic original. While the film itself might be a disappointment, the on-set experiences during its production have offered a different kind of drama. We'll hear directly from one of the stars about a moment filming became unexpectedly toxic. Toxic moments on set. Cumberbatch on filming The Roses. Benedict Cumberbatch reveals a specific instance during the filming of The Roses where the on-screen animosity between him and co-star Olivia Colman became uncomfortably real. Benedict Cumberbatch, known for his versatile roles from Doctor Strange to Sherlock, recently shared an anecdote about the filming of his latest project, The Roses. In this comedy drama, Cumberbatch stars alongside Olivia Colman as Theo and Ivy Rose, a couple whose once idyllic marriage devolves into a bitter and destructive divorce. The film, a remake of the 1989 hit, The War of the Roses, sees the estranged couple engaging in increasingly petty and destructive tactics to gain control of their shared assets. When asked about the dynamic of playing a couple at war with a friend like Colman, Cumberbatch admitted that while they generally had a positive working relationship, there was one particular moment that tested their comfort levels. There was one speed bump where it started to get a bit toxic, Cumberbatch revealed in an interview with Yahoo Entertainment. He explained that he felt the need to check in with Colman as a friend to ensure their professional portrayal of intense animosity wasn't bleeding too much into their personal dynamic on set. "I was like, I might need to check in with you as a friend, because this is getting a bit nasty now," he recalled. The scene in question occurred towards the film's climax, during a particularly intense confrontation between Theo and Ivy that followed a disastrous dinner party. Cumberbatch elaborated on the importance of maintaining a clear distinction between their characters' animosity and their own friendship. "I just thought, oh, if we're doing a scene and having a moment together, chatting on set and doing it, and then I'm going off and doing things, I just need to clear the air and remind myself. It's okay, we're good, we're here, we're helping each other," he explained. This conscious effort to maintain their rapport was crucial to ensure they could continue to support each other through the demanding scenes. Fortunately, any discomfort was temporary, and the experience did not leave any lasting negative feelings between the two acclaimed actors. Cumberbatch, 49, added that after navigating that challenging moment, the rest of the filming was largely enjoyable, characterized by playful insults and reconciliation between takes. Colman, on her part, seemed to find the intense scenes more manageable, mentioning that they would often share a cuddle between takes, reinforcing the idea that it was all pretend. This mutual understanding and ability to decompress allowed them to effectively portray the escalating conflict of their characters without it negatively impacting their off-screen relationship. The Roses is now in theaters, offering audiences a chance to see Cumberbatch and Colman navigate the complexities of a marriage gone wrong. While the on-set dynamics offered a glimpse into the challenges of portraying intense conflict, a different kind of event is making headlines for its star-studded celebration. Get ready as we shift focus to a major awards ceremony that's creating a buzz in the entertainment world. So, what's the verdict on the week's biggest stories? Benedict Cumberbatch's career took a pivotal turn in just 60 minutes. The Roses remake is facing mixed reviews for swapping venom for bickering. One star found filming a scene with a co-star became toxic, and a major awards ceremony is shaking up the industry. That's all for today, but don't miss our next update. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, leave a comment below telling us your thoughts, and follow us on all our social media platforms for even more. We'll see you next time.